Hey, welcome back to Inspired at Random, and in this video I'm going to be talking about Asperger people, autistics, and love and relationships. And that's a topic that I've been coming across a lot on Quora. So if you haven't already followed my Quora profile, it's down in the video description. And subscribe to this channel if you like my content. And in the meantime, for those of you who are worried about my dog bite, and basically, well, it's the neuropraxia is almost gone, and my grip strength is, I would say, about 90% right now, and a lot of the wounds have closed very nicely, so it's cool. All right, so anyway, coming back to today's topic, Asperger people, love and relationships. So there are a couple of aspects that I want to discuss in this video. For example, like how do Asperger people and autistics, well, I can only speak for myself because I'm an Asperger syndrome person. How do we express love? How do we make neurotypicals feel in romantic relationships, and what do we expect? Okay, so like first and foremost, some people wonder in a lot of the online questions like, can Asperger syndrome people love? As a matter of fact, a lot of the Asperger individuals that I know are very sentimental. So, as a matter of fact, we're probably even more loving in our ways. That's the catch. In our ways. It may not be the neurotypical person's ways, but in our ways. So we have this disconnect. Okay, we are very sentimental, and when we feel for someone, we really do. Naturally, we are quite earnest people, and we do feel like somewhat betrayed and let down if we don't feel the reciprocation. And at the same time, it's because of our perceptions and expectations that are different from a neurotypicals that can also result in a lot of misunderstanding in a relationship and result in a lot of bitterness sometimes, to the point that sometimes the relationship may be perceived as tiring for both us and them. Um, so let me get into a few of these different topics, and I hope that this makes sense. So if this makes sense to you, just press a like button down beneath this video. And if I strike a chord, and if you want me to make an additional answer on a certain aspect of this question, go ahead and shoot me a comment down below. Okay, so the thing about us is like we are the ways we express love is very peculiar sometimes. Um, like, sometimes a lot of the Aspies that I know, some of them they can be quite romantic, but maybe they are perceived as old-fashioned by today's women. But then again, that's also because we don't really know what to do. So we could ask around, we could read books, we could watch movies, and so that's it. So I think I had some help in contemporary Korean dramas, and also because living in Thailand, a lot of Thai women also watch Korean dramas. So that's a good starting point. So learn how to express. So that a tip for all Aspies out there would be to watch such like pop culture programs, and help to get some ideas about what to do. But otherwise, like sometimes the things that we perceive, and the things that neurotypicals think they're doing for us, they think they're doing gestures for us, but we kind of take it for granted. So it works both ways. We take for granted them, and they take us for granted too. And at a certain point, you're like, it's like a standoff. And I also want to point out another aspect too. It's like, because okay, Asperger syndrome people like us, we have like panic reactions sometimes, anxiety reactions, and sometimes we just need to reground ourselves. And quite a lot of the time, we need to reground ourselves. And unfortunately, it's these moments that sometimes we like to seclude. We like to sometimes even be uncontactable, space out personal space. And a neurotypical person is like, he's talking to someone else. don't you want to spend time with me? And even for me, like even I would say, knowing that this happens, knowing that I will react this way, I can't help it. I try to, but I try to spend more time with my spouse. But if I'm really not in the mood to, if I had a really hard day at work, if I had like a lot of challenges that I overcome that day, I just need to cut some kind of space out. And um, like I also want to go into a sidetrack topic, okay? Like some people have this idea that Asperger individuals have commitment issues. Um, that actually stems from the panic reactions and overstimulus that sometimes we can, somehow freak out in a relationship. Um, because sometimes when we feel we are being pushed, we just want space and therefore we become avoidant. And sometimes being avoidant also means that, like um, hanging out solo in bars. Like neurotypicals find it hard to believe that we can literally hang out solo, but we do. Um, but then in places, in certain parts of the world, in many parts of the world these days, there are things like maid cafes, hostess bars, and stuff. So that's when Aspies can sometimes find themselves like accidentally into like I would say what parallel relationships on the side, okay, because like they didn't want it, okay, they didn't want it, all right. They still respect if you're a spouse, they still love you, they still respect you, but at that point of time, like because they were going through a lot. I know this is not an excuse. I'm not trying to absolve people of that. Like so, but during those periods of time, they wanted to have some time away, not want to talk about the daily problems. It's just the same reaction as like, why do we feel more at ease in a different country on a holiday? Because we don't have the usual things to worry about. And it's the same for them. Having a chit chat with, let's say, the drink server, even hostess or maid in the maid cafe or something like that. Like sometimes they would feel that, hey, uh, they would feel that surprise on themselves. It's kind of weird because, like, don't I normally not feel like talking to uh, another person right now? Why do I feel relaxed? Why do I feel that this conversation is non-threatening? And they start to have illusions that this person is better wife material than my wife. um, and and as a result, sometimes they develop emotional attachment. So this is something I would like the Asperger individuals watching this video to have a thought about. All right, so um, if I pointed out something that you've done guilty of, I hope that you've been able to recognize that emotion at that time, and improve on that. So I hope I've been able to. I want you to think hard for yourself. Were you simply looking for, an escape to problems? Okay. Um, I've been, for a good part of my life, an escapist. But what has really helped me to anchor myself down and to stop running away from issues is like to have 3 kids. So having 3 kids is a huge responsibility, especially during COVID, due to income instabilities sometimes. Like having to provide, and having to provide also means being able to stand up to problems that may arise as well. So, um, okay, I'm just spacing out at this point of time, but I think I've covered most of the things that I wanted to cover in this video for Asperger people and love-in relationships. Um, so in a quick sum up, differing perceptions from the neurotypical and the Asperger person, and the avoidant behavior that Asperger people like to have sometimes. So they just want privacy. They just want privacy. Actually, so give them that space. Sometimes, if your partner has had a Asperger partner has a hard day, give them some space to cool down, and they will come back out towards you in no time. But sometimes they just want to chill. Like for me, when I was getting I had a very challenging week of work. The last 2 weeks, 2 weeks over. So I felt that going to the hospital to get my wounds dressed was a period of time. Even though it was painful at first because they had to clean the wounds out on a daily basis, and for the first 3 days, cleaning the wounds were even more painful than getting bitten by the dog at that point of time as well. But I looked forward to those times going to the hospital because it was like a escape from home. Usually my daily escape will be my workout time. But when I was not in a position to work out yet, I only resumed working out, let's say, the last couple of days. But before that, there goes my self-release time. So I looked forward to the hospital trips at a replacement. I would go alone as well, and I found it therapeutic. And when I come back, I can actually get back to being me, being the family guy, the husband and stuff. So I hope this video provides you some good insights, and stay tuned for more of my videos on this channel, Inspire at Random. You're most welcome to ask me any other topics that you may want some further sharing about, and I hope I can help you to improve your understanding of a condition, or relate to you in some way that you find out that you're not the only one. All right. So again, peace out. See you next time in the next video.